Well, good morning, Chairman Cotton and Vice Chairman Warner. Thank you. Members of the committee, I want to thank you for your serious consideration and attention to the constitutional responsibility of confirming high-ranking executive branch officials. And it's an honor for me to participate with you by my appearance here today. Testifying and sharing my profound support for the nomination of the Honorable John Ratcliffe as the Director of the Central Intelligence Agency is something for which I'm deeply grateful. Good national security decisions proceed from the combination of valid intelligence, information, and considered judgment. And integrity is an indispensable imperative for intelligence, the best friend of national security. And national security is unfortunately, is the singular portfolio most allergic to the infection and devaluation that results from inaccuracy and distortion. For high-quality decision-making, sound intelligence must never be diluted or contaminated by personal bias or political predisposition. John Ratcliffe's record of upholding the Constitution and enforcing the law, including his far-sighted work in the intelligence field, recommends him supremely to serve America as the Director of the Central Intelligence Agency. I've known and worked with John for almost decades. I know of no person of a higher commitment to integrity. I've seen him speak the unvarnished truth to those he works with and those he works for, whether senior governmental officials or corporate CEOs. As a member of the Congress, Ratcliffe's career stands as an outstanding record of public service. He was consistently well-prepared, tough, but he's a tough and a fair interrogator, fundamentally focused on the Constitution, never involving himself in personal attacks. John has served on the House Intelligence, Judiciary, Ethics, Homeland Security Committees, and as chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee's Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Protection Subcommittee. In the Department of Justice, John served as a federal prosecutor, first as an assistant U.S. attorney and chief of anti-terrorism and national security for the Eastern District of Texas, then as U.S. attorney for the Eastern District of Texas, where he pursued more than 30 national security and terrorism-related matters. After his service as a U.S. attorney, I had the privilege of working with John in the Ashcroft, Sutton, and Ratcliffe law firm, where he focused on government and internal investigations, homeland security, and foreign corrupt practices law. In professional moments, both public and private, I have seen John's thoughtful, decisive, yet humble leadership. He's a careful and willing listener, skilled at proceeding and processing with different voices in complex situations. He is comfortable in being held to account, and he will require those in the agency to be similarly accountable. Over the past 15 years, he served in crucial roles as both a developer and consumer of intelligence. John therefore brings to the office of the Director of the Central Intelligence Agency a relevant reservoir of experience, as well as sound judgment on an array of issues related to national security. He understands that the intelligence community exists to secure the liberties and freedoms of Americans, liberties and freedoms that he holds in highest regard. As a prosecutor, John dealt with national security and terrorism-related matters. This ranged from domestic and international terrorism to drug trafficking, human trafficking, and the transnational criminal organizations that threaten us in ways that we have previously not been accustomed to. During recent decades of our nation's most elevated concern regarding terrorism, John developed excellent relationships with the international intelligence sources in order to aid America. That experience will serve him well in fostering appropriate cooperation with the intelligence agencies of our allies. Under John's leadership as chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee's Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Protection Subcommittee, he forged policies and statutes which will strengthen and do strengthen our nation's intelligence gathering capacity. He is thoroughly conversant with the wide variety of national security topics, with a focus on emerging and expanding cybersecurity threats. This includes investigating foreign cybersecurity interference, reviewing the Department of Homeland Security's efforts to secure government networks, evaluating the Cyber Threat Intelligence Integration Center, the Wassenaar Agreement, and the Continuous Diagnostics and Mitigation Program, together with the interagency coordination on cybersecurity. John enlisted bipartisan support to build a national cyber intelligence infrastructure to protect our country. President Obama signed the significant cybersecurity bill that John co-authored, the National Cybersecurity Protection Advancement Act, which passed the House of Representatives with an overwhelming bipartisan vote. His record reflects a commitment to continue building a forward-looking intelligence community that is integrated and coordinated. His experience signals his possession of the skills necessary to lead the intelligence community in effectively addressing proliferating national security threats. John Ratcliffe is capable of and committed to delivering the most insightful, accurate intelligence and counterintelligence possible. He will supply decision makers with excellent information upon which they can base sound judgments safeguarding our national security. Mr. Chairman and committee members, thank you for what I consider to be the privilege of communicating to you my unreserved endorsement of John L. Ratcliffe for the Director of the Central Intelligence Agency. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Attorney General. And I understand that Mr. Ashcroft will now step away, or you?
I'll join the citizens.
You're more than welcome to do so.
And observe from the high perch of citizenship the rest of the proceedings.
Thank you again, Mr.
I
Attorney.
pray God's blessing on this committee, and I am very, very pleased that the committee is seriously considers the statement both of the vice chairman. We used to call that person the ranking member, but I think he's vice chairman now, and the chairman. I'm grateful to you. Thank you for allowing me to be here.